President Trump accuses China of specifically targeting American farmers in retaliation for $34 billion in U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods. Addressing the U.S. trade relationship with China, the president tweeted, "They are being vicious in what will be their failed attempt. We were being nice until now." Yesterday, the White House announced it will provide $12 billion in emergency aid to help farmers and ranchers hurt by this trade war. Joining me now is Congressman Mike Gallagher, Republican from Wisconsin, who serves on the House Armed Services Committee and the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman Gallagher, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me back.
Your fellow Republicans in the Senate do not like this plan. Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania says it's trying to put a Band-Aid on a self-inflicted wound. Senator Ben Sasse says this administration's tariffs and bailouts aren't going to make America great again. They are just going to make it 1929 again. You're from a farm state. Does this plan make good sense?
Well, it's very rare for me to agree with anything the Senate does, but on this, Toomey and Sasse are absolutely right. And the fact is that the $12 billion payment through an obscure Depression-era piece of legislation or a fund created therein just proves what we've all known for the last 200 years, which is that tariffs are taxes. They're taxes that distort the market. They pick winners and losers. They're taxes that hurt hardworking Americans and Wisconsin farmers and manufacturers. So I fully support what the administration is trying to do when it comes to the Section 301 designations. That's what we're trying to do to get tough on China. That's a very impressive piece of work and long overdue. But to simultaneously pick a fight with all our friends and allies who aren't perfect, but we need to work with them to get tough on our adversaries like China via the 232 designation strikes me as counterproductive. And it really has the, I think, potential, the worrying potential to take away a lot of the positive benefits we're seeing from tax reform and regulatory reform.
Soybeans rank among the top 3 agricultural products of your home state in Wisconsin, and soybean prices have plunged 18% in the past 2 months. What are farmers telling you?
Well, that just illustrates how complicated and messy this is going to get, because you're right. I mean, even for dairy farmers, right? A lot of them plant soybeans on the side. For a lot of farms in my district, it comprises 30% of their agronomy business. And at a time when the dairy market is already experiencing a period of persistently low prices, one of the worst ag economies we've seen really since 2014, this is just another punch to the gut for our hardworking Wisconsin farmers who wake up every single day trying to do the right thing. So I worry that this could get out of hand. We're going to see retaliation from our friends. We're seeing retaliation from China. And so, again, I just think you have to choose, right? You can either pick a fight with China or pick a fight with the free world. And I would much rather we work with our friends and our allies in order to push back on states like China who have a much different vision for what they want the global economic order to look like.
Before we let you go, I want to talk about your Go to Washington, Go to Work Act. I can't believe we need an act for that. What does this bill aim to do? Why do you think it's so important?
Well, I know it sounds naive. After my first term in Congress here, I've become dismayed and disgusted by how much time members of Congress spend raising money for re-election rather than doing the work that people sent them here to do. And so I think it's common sense that when you're in D.C., when Congress is in session, you should not be allowed to raise money, because I think your average American citizen would similarly be disgusted and dismayed to learn how much time is spent raising money for re-election. And that's at the source of so many of our problems. And so we got a good bipartisan start here, and we want to make the case, and the response from the American people has been overwhelming.
Okay, go to work, Congressman.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you later. Thanks so much,
Bye.
Representative Mike Gallagher, Republican from Wisconsin.